Welcome to the circle of fifths, the wonderful yet dreaded circle of fifths. To count so much, because especially when you're playing, you don't have time to count. So similarly, if somebody tells you in the key of A, you've got to count a lot of sets of five to go from A to G to G to D and D to A. It's too much counting, and then you still don't know what the sharps are unless you memorize them. So I have a different way to do this. So forget memorizing this in a rote fashion. We're going to calculate the circle of fifths. And I think by calculating it, each time you're calculating it, you're learning it and you're reinforcing in your mind how this works. So that said, let's go to this new system we have. Okay, let's deal with the right-hand side first, the sharps. And the mnemonic for that is clever giants dance around every bomb. Clever giants dance around every bomb. If you notice, the very first letter for each of those words is the scale to the right. C for clever, G for giants, D for dance, A for around, E for every, and B for bomb. So if you remember that mnemonic, you know positionally without counting sets of five to get from C to G and G to D and D to A. It's way too much counting. Like you just know those are those are the scales that are on the sharp side of the circle of fifths from that one acronym. Clever giants dance around every bomb. And on this side here where it says clever giants dance around every bomb, there's a rule that says count back one note, adding the sharp note. So count back one note from the scale you're in and add the sharp. But my point is you can calculate it all. You don't have to be counting in series 5, which is crazy. And you don't have to memorize it and you might forget it or you might not remember exactly. You could always calculate it. And like I said, if you're getting deep into the scale, you're up to D flat or B, and it's new to you, you could write down the notes you're adding. But again, it's calculable. It's not something you have to memorize. So if you're waiting for a train or waiting for a plane, it's gonna be a mental exercise you can go through without looking at the chart. Just you have to know the two mnemonics. Clever giants dance around every bomb, and clever frogs balance eggs all day. You have to know those, obviously. You have to know the two rules. On the sharp side, you go back one giant, one note. On the giant side, the right side, you go forward four frogs or four notes to calculate what the flat is that you're adding. So it is you have to learn those rules, but then you need nothing. All you need is your mind and those rules, and you calculate the entire circle of fifths. So waiting for something, waiting online, waiting for a train, not driving. Maybe if you're in Uber, maybe you want to concentrate on driving. But if you're in an Uber or you're waiting for something, you can calculate these things. That said, have a great day.